Hey guys, this is Laurel, or Rel, of the Dabbling Hook. How are you guys doing today? Today is Sunday the 29th. Yep, and it is 2:45 in the afternoon. It is a beautiful day out. It's sunny, there's a bit of a breeze. It's lovely out today. The only signs of fall out today is just the bit of the breeze and the leaves on the ground. But otherwise, it's quite a lovely day. And I just got back from running some errands. I was shaking off not fatigue, just achiness. I was going to record yesterday, but I decided against it, which turned out to be a good thing. I'll tell you in a minute. But hopefully I would have put in some pictures in the beginning that, because I had no craft fair this week, I decided we should do something as a family, whether they liked it or not. Or I should say whether the minions liked it or not, which they were not too keen, but oh well. So we ended up going to a fair, the Big E Fair. And I've seen pictures from other people going. I've always wanted to go. So I finally went, or we finally went, and it turned out to, I mean, it was nice just to go do something, but it was just food. There were some activities, there were singers. Hopefully I'll put in the pictures of they were camels. They stank. The whole area where they were smelled. There were animals and, the usual fair thing, but there was just a lot of fair type food, which, yeah, I discovered really I'm not into. When we first walked in, I'm like, ooh, I want to try this. Ooh, I want to try that. By the time we had walked around, not really. I had some funnel cake, which I was excited about, and it just didn't taste good. It's like, what do you call it? Fried dough gone wrong. This is what I call it. It just, yeah, it wasn't for me. And then they had caramel sauce on it, which I know I shouldn't have, but it didn't even taste like caramel. It was just so generic and blah. I'm looking out the windows because there are a couple of kids riding their bikes back and forth. So you might hear screaming because they were screaming a little while ago. But anyway, so I decided not to record. I hadn't heard from the second winner of the cake. So on Friday I was going to pull it and I ran out of time, or I caught up doing other stuff, and then by the time I remembered it was too late. So I was going to do it yesterday when we got back, and I started prepping everything to do a recording and everything, and I decided I don't feel like doing it. The lighting wasn't great in here and all, so it's a good thing because later that like maybe a couple hours later I checked my email and Shirley did send me an email. So I told her she was very lucky because I was just about to pull another winner. So, and there they go, running back and forth. Somebody's gonna fall. We're a bit on a little bit of a slope, and anyway, it'll be a good lesson for them. So Shirley, like I said, contacted me, so I will have that out to her early next week, or this coming week. So that was that. Good timing, Shirley. And just to reiterate again, I've been moving stuff around, so there's fluff like flying all around, and it's gotten in my eye. When I do these random act of sharing and any other, let's call it regifting or just giveaways, which I don't want to call it giveaway, but when I do these things, I only hold it for 1 week. So if you're going to enter, just keep that in mind, that you have 1 week, and I will usually, if I don't hear by usually end of day Friday, I pick another winner. So just to keep that in mind, my PSA for the day. Okay, what else are we going to talk about? I have some faux, which I didn't really think I did until I started gathering them up. Yeah, I do. I have some acquisitions, which I really didn't need, but that's besides the point, right? Whips. I have a couple that I need to pick up again. One is the sloth, which was a sloth mal, which is way done, and I completely blew that because of craft fairs. And my shoulder went. And the other one is the Stasher Shells, which is way, way done. And I just put it down in the ramp up to craft fair, and that's just been sitting there. Excuse me, I apologize. My other whip, I just finished drinking tea, so my other whip is the mess that I have it in my calendar or in my reminders to keep reminding me, and I keep pushing it off. So I need to do something, but you know how that goes. Anyway, so the first thing is that Anastasia, which is the hat pattern that I contributed to the Rhinebeck Club, which was put on by Diane Ivy of Lady Di Yarns. And I think that has been more of a stress on me than I realized. I was fighting myself to get all the recommendations and suggestions of the tech editor in, to get it off to Diane. So I finally got that in. I did not include, because things were optional, obviously they're suggestions. So there's things I'm still struggling with that I put in most of the recommendations, but not all. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, that is off to her. So it's like, there's a big weight off my shoulders to get that off. And if anyone happened to have purchased that club, it was due to go out on the 1st of October. I believe there's a delay in one of the other participants, I think. So I believe Diane said that they would be going out October 10th. So at least it's gone. So it's off in the winds. We shall see. So one last look, and I was going to pull out all the versions that I did, but this is blown out. Looks quite blue and washed out, but it's a cooler purple color. I just dropped a bunch of stuff. It's a cooler purple color. Goes from light to dark, or you could have worked it either way. This yarn is from Three Fates Yarn. She's another, sorry, I totally blanking on her first name, but Three Fates Yarn, I'll put a link to her down below. Oh, sidebar, another thing, a lot of people when they watch the videos ask, what was that pattern, or how did you do that, or whatever. Anything that I talk about, it's down below in the description area. I'm not sure if I mentioned that last time, but I'm mentioning it again. Everything's down below. If you don't see something, it's because I forgot to include it, so you can let me know. But check down below first, and you should find the link to everything. All right. So again, there are two versions of Anastasia. There's one with a brim, my slip stitch brim, Debbie. So yeah, there's that version, and then there's one without the brim. So, and while I was on vacation in July, I didn't have the yarn yet from, or I was saying, Three Fates yarn. We had to use the yarn, the people who are doing patterns had to use a yarn by one of the dyers in the club, and I got Three Fates yarn. So I was waiting on her yarn to do the pattern. So I didn't have that before vacation, so I ended up taking yarn that I had gotten from Lady Di back in, I think it was back in March. There was a market close to where I live, and she was vending there, and I got to meet her there. If I can find that picture, I'll pop it in. But I used her yarn, and I cannot remember what the color was called. I remember I love the name, but for the life of me, I should have just looked it up, but we'll see. But this is looking so orangey. It's an orangey red, but it's definitely a red with the hint of orange in it. And I apologize for this glitchiness. I still can't figure out why it's doing that. I'm not sure if it's something to do with my computer. I found a couple of videos, but one of them was a little too techy for me, so I'm still researching and trying to figure out why it keeps stopping and glitching. I've clicked just about everything in the program, still isn't helping, but anyway. So you will see little glitchy stops along the way. So this is it. Oh, it's a gorgeous day out, but it's completely blowing out everything. Right here is closer to the color. Yeah. So I did it in that, and I absolutely love this color. And then I had some yarn from Lola Bean, and I did the small size in there. And again, slip stitch has quite a bit of stretch to it, so I did that one. This is, ooh, even on camera it's a bit blah, but it's a very Easter. Hubby said it was definitely, when he first looked at it, he said Easter egg. So I purchased this because of a fundraiser that they were having, so I figured I might as well use it. And now, because it was such an expensive skein of yarn, I need to gift it to somebody, what's the word, yarn worthy or indie dye yarn worthy, not just anybody, because I'm sure no one would want to pay what I'd want to charge for it. So that's that. Okay, so that is Anastasia. She's off. The other thing, speaking of designs, I was watching Lulu Loves, who's Emma Scott. She's a podcaster. She's a British podcaster. Or do you rather English? I know you guys have a thing about that. Are you British or are you English? I don't know. She's a British, I'll say, podcaster. And I was watching her last episode, and she was talking about she hasn't recorded in a while, and she was saying where she's been, and she was contacted to work on a book, and she's talking about her, I guess, her design process or her style. And I've been trying to identify or pinpoint, how I work. And what she was saying really resonated with me, that because I've been, and I know it's something I shouldn't do, but I've been comparing myself a lot to people on Instagram especially. They are so prolific, and they spit things out, seems like weekly or, more than one a month, and it's definitely not how I work. And Emma was saying that she's definitely not the think ahead kind of designer. She's making something that she likes, and if people like it, then she writes up the pattern. That's pretty much where I am. I'm always tinkering with things, or, what if, and if it's received well, then I would write the pattern. But I'm not okay, I'm going to do this, and, I can write the whole thing down and do it. I was just talking to an amigurumi designer who's part of our weekly meetup, Fiverr meetup, and she was saying that she goes both ways, but she has a notebook, she writes everything down, and then she starts making. I need to make it first to see how it looks, and am I feeling it, blah, blah, blah. So long story short, I will put a link to her last video, Lulu Love's last video, down below. And yeah, that was just my little sidebar. The other thing, so Angela Wilson and I'm not sure if you have a YouTube channel, and somebody mentioned last time about, I think it was Debbie and, what was her name? Crochet I forget her first name, about the not so great comments they had gotten about the giveaway that the same person won. And the person was commenting that, basically that people with a YouTube channel seems to have advantages. And what people may or may not realize is that as soon as you sign up for YouTube, you have a channel. Now, whether you decide to make videos and post regularly or occasionally, you still have a channel. So there is no advantage given to anybody. Plus, it is a random, this thing is blinking. I'm wondering if it's glitching. Anyway, it's a random generator that we use to pick the names. So we are not honing in on anybody or any channel specifically. So, but what I was trying to say that Angela on Instagram, you know, because of my little slight obsession with latte cakes, she was saying that, you know, I should start saying that I latte'd this, I latte'd that. Well, I latte'd something, sort of, and I'll show you that. So, Angela, there you go. What else? Whips. I don't have anything active that I'm working on, other than I said that the two that's been on rest for a while, the sloth and the stash of shells. I need to work on those. I'm pretty sure I won't get to the shawl, the stash of shells, but I'm hoping I can start back up on the sloth, because I think I only have the body left to do and then piece everything together. Okay, acquisitions. So some of them were books that I had ordered. One of them, I blame Kim of The Crafty Nomad, because she was talking about, I'm pretty sure it was you. If it wasn't, oops. But Hamilton Books, I'm pretty sure it was you. Sorry if it wasn't. So somebody was saying that they bought off Hamilton Books. And I'm like, oh. So I went looking. And I bought, oh, I got fluff in my eye. Okay, that's not going to be fun. Anyway, so I bought 3 books because they were reasonably priced. The first one I bought was 100 Colorful Ripple Stitches to Crochet. That's the front, and then there's just some examples on the back. A lot of them we've seen, like these are, these would be great for lovies. But there are blankets out there with these types of, patterns, but it's just good to have it all in one. Nope, I don't want to show this. So this is done with the I think it's the bobble stitch, not the popcorn. Not sure, but I just grabbed my eye. I don't even know if it's something I would like, but there's one done with the linen stitch, the granny stitch, but with only the 2 double crochets. I've done one of these before from somebody. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I haven't had a chance really to look through it. Ooh, I saw this and I just had an idea. I like that. I like that. Huh. Yep, so just your ripples. It would be good to have it just accessible and not have to go search for different ripple stitches. Okay, so the next one I bought was, it says Knitted Bears, but it's 8 special friends for you to knit and crochet. That's why I got it, is and crochet. So yeah, I have never knitted a toy. How cute. That is knitted garter stitch. The thought of having you know, doing these on double points and all these tiny bits, it's daunting, but I figured I should at least give it a try. And I don't see many crocheted ones in here. It says knit and crochet. No. We'll see. No. I will have to take a closer look. Okay, the other one I got was a hardcover book, and it's the Crochet Stitch Handbook. Over 200 traditional and contemporary stitches. Easy to follow charts. So yeah, you can never go wrong with basically another stitch dictionary. And I like that it's hard-covered. So, of course, the first thing I open to is the picot edging, which is not a favorite of mine. Yeah. Cool. So yeah. So that was it for books. I also, one of the other ladies at my weekly stitch meetup said that, I don't know if you guys have, I don't know if it's out anywhere but in the East, but Ocean State Job Lot, it's another big discount place. They get, like, when they get overstock things or stores go out of business, or if they're discontinuing large number of things, they end up with there. They're perfectly usable. There's a lot of food. There's household stuff. There's everything there. And they occasionally get yarn. The first time I saw a 7-ounce skein of Vanna's Choice was from there. And sadly, I think Vanna's Choice is no longer. AC Moore still has it, but it's definitely gone from Joann's and Michael's. And they had some they had some at this place. But what I saw, and I did an audible gasp. I'm like, ah! And Minion 2 was with me, and it's just, you know, he was giving me the derisive snare and all that. Teenagers. They had wool sponge. It's one of my favorite yarns. And I'm like, and my head was going, no, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. I was ready to, like, just scoop up everything. It's $2.50. What I have in stock, I got some from the Lion brand when they were having the dollar sale, 2 sales back. And then I've also had some from when Michael's had it, and they had gone down to, like, as little as, I think, 97 cents a skein. They don't have those kinds of clearances anymore. But yeah, these are $2.50. So that's part of what kept me in check. And I got the green because I wanted to make another of Hocus, which you'll see later. Will I get to it? I don't know, but that's why I got green. So yeah, I will be going back there because they had some good choices, but I need to stay away for a little while because there's like a mountain on the floor. But other thing, I just came back, like I said, I went to Michael's, Joann's because I needed, oh, that's not it. I needed a J because I was looking for my J hook. I have my tulip and a clover, and I couldn't find it because it's in bags of unfinished projects somewhere there, and there's so many of them I couldn't find it. I did end up finding it like when it was too late last night. So there's a 60% off coupon at AC Moore right now, so I used that at Joann's to get that, and this was $7.99. Then it was 60% off after that. So I got that, and I think the coupon is good maybe till tomorrow, so I may go back and get another one. Whoops, why not? The other thing, what I actually went for the craft fairs, I print out some signs, especially for my headbands. I sell them for one price, and then I do a 2 at a certain price. And the piece of cardstock that I had it on is seeing better days. So it just hit me, just get a little write on, because I have this stand little chalkboard that I can write on, and I have my PayPal stickers on it, and then on the bottom I usually write all credit cards accepted in chalk. So I figured, why not just get these and put it on like a clip or some kind of clothespin and write the price for the headbands on there. That way, you know, I can erase and rewrite, because like I said, my paper that I have it on is looking pretty ratty. So I got 2 because I have 2 sizes that I make for the headbands. So I'm just going to put a clip on that one. There's no clip. And clip it to the small container that it's in. And then this one's on a stand, and I'm not sure if I'll leave it as a stand or take the bottom off, glue the clip on, that way I can take off and remove. So that's what I actually went for. What else did I get? Well, since you asked. I used the AC Moore coupon also at Michael's, and I got the blue, what's it called? Blueberry Mist. I needed that to go with, excuse me, the Harmony. I'm pretty sure these are the 2 that I put together before. that the woman at my first craft fair asked about, who's not contacted me. Not surprising, but I figured I would do that anyway, just to have. So that was 60% off that. And then to write on those little boards, those little chalk boards, I got a chalk marker, and I had a 50% off coupon that I used on that. So this was $3 something and then 50% off. So I did 2 transactions at Michael's, by the way. And then I bought at, did I buy that at Michael's or Joann's? No, I bought this at Joann's because I had the 60% off. No, I had a 50% off coupon. Oh, at Michael's when I bought these and the pen, there was a 25% off your entire purchase coupon on top of that as well. So yeah, at Joann's, I just bought these because this is so not showing up right. This is so muted, but it's more on the bright turquoisey, tealy color. This is so wrong. Not even close. Maybe this a little better, but it's a gorgeous jewel tone teal color. And it's called Deep Lagoon, so you can just imagine. And then gray marble, which is always, always a good one to have in stock. So I'm just going to make some Victrina hats with those. So those were bought on 60% and 50% off coupons and 40% off coupons. I had coupons. Nothing was bought full price, basically. All right. And I used Randy's bag again as the catch-all for it all. I would have used my yellow bag that I made with the birds at the bottom, but it's full of cut up pieces of faux fur that I need to turn into pom-poms, so I couldn't use that. All right. I think that was all my acquisitions. More than enough. Finished objects. Where do I start? I made Victrina. Ooh. I also bought, where did I buy these? I think at Walmart. I think. But Hudson Bay is always a popular color, no matter what I make with it. And then this is oatmeal. Again, more Victrina that I'm going to make. Speaking of, I made, and I totally forget what this color, oh, this was Urban Camo. So I got to put a pom-pom on that. That's one. And I'm going to reach over. Oh, there's a pile. Let's see. All the Victrinas. I made I think this is the pumpkin color. The pumpkin, now the mustard is more greeny yellow than this, so I'm pretty sure this is the pumpkin or squash, butternut squash maybe. Or is it butterscotch? Might be butterscotch. Anyway, there are 2 or 3 colorways in the Thick and Quick that are very close together. So it's easy to confuse them if you're not looking at all 3 of them together, but I think it's the butterscotch. Love this one. I think I need one for myself in this color. Yep. So I think I have another skein of this, so I may leave this one without the pom-pom and then do another one with the pom-pom. I also did, this is Starlight. It's got the sparkles. And I added one of my faux fur pom-poms on it. And then this one is the one I showed that I was working on last time. It's the color combination that Sandy, that's her name, Sandy of Crochet A had liked, and I was working on it, so it's been latte'd. Oh, wake up. Okay. So yeah, oh, I just saw the glitch. Sorry about the glitch. Oh, it's terrible. Whew. It's glitching something awful right now. I think it has to do with the focus. I got to go back to that video to figure it out. But anyway, it's got it's got latte cake, of course. It's the roasted tomato. It's got Pound of Love in claret, and it's got the Karen cake in red velvet. And then I have one of the pink faux furs on top. So yeah, actually I might keep that one too. All right, the other thing I made, that skein of Wellness Baby that I bought. I think this one came out a tad small, even though I tripled the yarn, but I made a 2-button cowl. So in that, it's very soft yarn. And out of that, there was some left over, and I dropped one. Hang on. I had a little bit of the cool that I used in that Yvette shawl, ombre cool. So I had a little bit left, so I paired it with the Wellness Baby, and I made 1, 2, 3. So there's that, and those are the Shirelle. And then I had some Hometown USA. I can't not call it Hometown USA. So I had a couple of partial skeins. I put it together and I made a Shirelle. This gray is the Chicago Charcoal, which is a very popular one. And then I had the, oh, I just had the name, San Diego something. But it's another, it's black and grays, and it's blowing out. There you go. So that's another Shirelle. And, oh, I just blew right through that, didn't I? Oh, no, I have some other things there. The other thing is another entry into the BIPOC Mal that is being hosted by Elizabeth of Desamore Designs, Crochet Designs. She's on Facebook. I'll put the link below. And again, the purpose of the cal, and I had misspoken a couple of videos back. It's not to use indie dyers as well, but it's to showcase designers, BIPOC designers. So anyone can participate, but you have to use a BIPOC designer to enter. So I had purchased a pattern by Elizabeth Desamore herself, and it is her even moss hat. And here it is. So it's basically the moss stitch, but usually the moss stitch is staggered. If you have a slip stitch here, the next row you'll have a half double crochet, slip stitch, half double crochet. Well, this is just, they're stacked on each other. All the half double crochets are stacked and the slip stitches are stacked. So that's why it's even moss. And it's worked flat and then seamed. Not one of my favorite ways of doing it. So I was like, I wonder if I can figure out how to do it in the round. So there's the seam in the back. Not too bad. And you won't notice it. And what I've noticed is we worry a lot about the seam in the back, but when you go buy a hat in the store, we don't typically check the back for the seam, but do that next time. You will see that seam, and it's visible enough, but because we just buy it in the store, we don't really think about it, but people tend to, and we do it ourselves, really focus a lot on the San Andreas fault. That's different, if it's going all over the place, but just to have a seam, that's quite normal in a hat. So it's got great texture. I used wool spun from my stash. Not this green because that's new, but I had charcoal colorway in my stash, so I used that, and I may do a couple more because it's got great texture, visual. I'm all about texture, visual, and tactile, where you can feel it and touch it, and it's squishy. Hers is written in worsted. I used wool spun is a number 5 bulky, so you just adjust your size, and because you could do it whatever length you want, really. She has suggested ones in the pattern, but again, you can just do it to fit. And the brim is applied on, so after you're done, you don't cut off, you just keep going and doing the brim. Now I'm thinking I can probably do that in the round. I'm thinking I could. Yeah. And the other thing I don't like is just the cinch without some decrease to take away the bulk. And this is just cinched without taking away the bulk. So that's the other thing. Even if I were to do it flat again, I would work in decreases and a way to take away some of that bulk for the cinch. That's one of the things I don't like. Depending on the yarn you use to, could make it top heavy with that cinch. But either way, I like it. So I need to take pictures of most of this to enter on the Facebook page for that. So there's that. And then I only have a couple other things, and let me make sure. Yep. Ooh, the main thing I almost forgot, sitting right there. But what I made, I'd shown the baby velvet yarn that I bought on clearance at Michael's last time. Fluff, fluff. So what I ended up making, get out of the way, I made 3 things, and I still have a lot of that skein left, but I made 3 things. One of these days I will get this straight. There you go. I made another grumpy pumpkin. I was trying for a different, what's the word? Lip, turn, curve, whatever. Didn't quite get there, but I'm okay with that. So, and this time I gave him the big stem. She has a regular stem, which is about to here. Then she has a short stem, which is the stackable stem, where it's short enough that you can stack the pumpkins because of the indentation on each other. And then you have the big one. So I did that this time. And the brown is just some Red Heart Super Saver. The other thing I made, I made a chubby bunny. I put his eyes a little too far back, so it's mucking with the ears. And then, so this is one of 2 things I latte'd. I gave him a latte cake tail, or her. But yeah, too cute. I want to try to make another one because I have a lighter color of this velvet yarn. I want to try to make another one for the craft fair, but I don't know if I'll be able to get that done with everything else I need to do. And then, they just needed another friend. So they insisted that I gave him an Octo Buddy to join them. So yeah, eyelashes. I think I like the eyes far apart. I'm working on how far apart I want it, but yep, Octo Buddy. So that's that. And then last but not least, and the avalanche of stuff is falling. Oh my God. So I know a lot of people are participating in the Halloween Cal that Amber and Ella are hosting. So I had done and I just realized I have yet to take a good picture of Spooky that I made. And he's actually packed away because I took him to my last craft fair. So I need to take it out and take a good picture. But I made Hocus. And I was wondering, all right, what can I use? What yarn color? And then I looked, and I have a bit of charisma. So I figured, why not? So I made Hocus. Now, I had a full skein of charisma, and then I had a partial skein. And halfway through making, was it the legs? I made the eyes and then the feet. I'm like, oh, it feels a little thick. So again, they tell you to buy multiples of the same lot number because the colors may vary. What they don't tell you is that the thickness may vary as well, because the partial skein I had was way thicker than the full skein. So makes his eyes stick out a little because I did the eyes and the feet in the partial skein. And what did I have to do extra? I can't remember. I did take out a couple of rows because it was just making it too big and too stiff, and sticking out too much. So I had to take out a couple of rows of the eyes. And then this is the Dragonfly colorway, because I think it's my second or third favorite color. There's a pink something pop, it's called, colorway. It's like pinks and oranges, really bright pink, not like Barbie pink, but really bright pink color. I love that one. But this is one of my favorite ones. And I thought it was perfect for Halloween, and it's being blown out here, but it's so much more saturated. It's I call it the Ross green, that neon-y green color. And I had to latte it, and I gave it a wart, a latte wart on its feet, and a couple here and one here. So, and for the hat, what did I use? It was an AC Moore dollar bin. They were 50-ounce skeins, and in an attempt to combine just little skeins, I just made a cake out of like 2 or 3 of them, and I still have a little bit left, so I doubled it, and I was using it I used it for the hat. So got a sparkly witch's hat. I had to do a little bit of addition and added a few extra rows and such to help it out, because even this was a little bit on the thinner side of the yarn. I don't think it was quite a DK, but not quite a worsted, so I had to double it, and it was still a little thinner than the Charisma, so I had to add a few more rounds to get what I wanted. And getting his mouth to show on this yarn was very difficult, so I did the black, and then I went back with, I split the yarn, the white yarn, and then I went back and tried to outline or draw something so you'd actually see that there's a mouth there. So I need to take a picture of him. I did take a picture of him. I just need to add it to her Facebook page. Is that where it's going? Yeah. Because I don't think she's on Ravelry anymore, so there's nowhere to put that on Ravelry. So I keep playing with the hat. Let's see what it show. That way. All blown out. So yeah, I think that is all I have. I have a craft fair this Saturday coming. I'm thinking this Saturday will determine if I do this one again. This will be my 4th year, I think, doing it. Is it 3rd, 4th? It should be my 4th year doing it. So we'll see. Last year was okay. We'll see how this year goes. But yeah, that is all acquisitions when I didn't need it. And Shirley, your package will be out this week. And I just need to clean up, and I need to get back to a couple of whips that have been languishing that I put aside for craft fair prep, and getting the Anastasia hat done. And I have one other pattern that I'm working on. It's half jotted down. I wouldn't say written up. It's half jotted down. Yeah, I think that's it. I hope you guys have a good week coming up, and there's still fluff flying around. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of today. Well, by the time I probably get this edited and up, who knows what time it'll be, but that is all. I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Oh, totally forgot. I finished last night, early this morning. Square number 19. And this is a navy color, Big Twist Premium. And this is the mesh, no, I'll put the name on the screen. The Unraveled Mitten Stash Busting Cow. This is number 19. So all done. Very quick, easy. I'm not a big fan of the filet meshy look, but it was quick to do. So that's it. Bye.